Okay, so today we're going to continue working on our chameleon, and we're going to be focusing on coloring with markers. So you're going to get your red bags and which have a bunch of markers in it, lots of different colors for you, okay? So the first thing you're going to do before we even start coloring is you're just going to add to this. So you can see how I've taken a pencil and I've drawn some more leaves here, and then you're going to take a marker and you're gonna basically trace and outline those leaves. The leaves can be overlapping, but you definitely wanna make sure you trace them with the Sharpie. And look at this one's overlapping here. So I'm just gonna do the front one first. And then I'll do the back one next. So that's the great thing about pencil. You can have them look not so perfect, and then when you do the Sharpie, that kind of fixes everything for you. And always make sure you hit that cap on tight. And then just like we did last time with the chameleon, after we drew it, we're gonna erase the line so it looks clean and neat and ready for the markers. So we're gonna be using that technique we practiced with, where we're gonna use marker, and it's okay if they're dry, and then we'll use a brush and water. So I've already started coloring down here, so that's just the background. But I want, for the chameleon, I want you to focus on the three primary colors. So these are the three most important colors, because without these three primary colors, you will not have all the other beautiful colors. So like red and yellow, when they're mixed together, you get orange. When you have red and blue together, they make violet. And then when you have yellow and blue, they make green, okay? So we're gonna create like the primary colors, at least on the body, and then you can color the head and the tail however you want, okay? So you can color this way, you can color up and down, whatever you want. I'm gonna start with the red here. And remember, I said you only have to do it on the body. And this is a dry one, so it's okay. Some of my markings are kind of see-through. That's fine. Make sure you hear that clip. And then I'm gonna take this yellow and I'm gonna go over, make sure you're overlapping a little bit, the yellow right in here. Then click. Then actually, you know what? I'm gonna make that yellow a little bit bigger, wider, because when I go over it with the blue, the green shade, I want to make sure that there's plenty of green. There we go. So green, or in this case it's blue right here. And if you color a little outside the lines, that's fine, especially on the log, because the log, we're going to be using oil pastels. Same thing with the leaves. We're going to use some oil pastels. So I've got my red and yellow makes orange, yellow and blue makes green, and then blue and red makes violet. So I did go into the head a little bit, and that's fine. So as long as I'm showing all of my mixing, that's good. And making sure you're overlapping just a little bit of the red over the blue, okay? And I'm using the side of my marker, and the reason why is it makes a nice thicker mark and it doesn't ruin the tip. So I have that, and I've followed those rules. I used the primary colors, the three primary colors, and I mixed them. So I mixed the red and the yellow to make orange, yellow and blue to make green, and blue and red to make a violet, okay? Then the rest of it, it's colored however you want. So in the bag, I'm gonna grab another violet. This one's a lot bolder, which is beautiful. I can overlap that or not, it's up to me, and that's what I'm choosing to do. Okay, make sure you're hearing that click. You can have that leg here. Maybe I want this to be mostly this green. This is one of those times it is okay to have a few little white spaces, because when we use that water, it's gonna kind of smear it. Okay, and then always, even if it's a pretty good one, make sure you hear that click. And you can have the tail. Maybe I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna color the top part here. Kind of going a little slow around the edges. And then maybe I'm gonna have blue mixed with it, maybe that turquoise color. I'll use the turquoise color here. And kind of mix them a little bit so the colors, when they bleed together, make it look interesting. So you're gonna do this on everything, okay? Except for you don't need to color in the leaves, so the leaves or the bark of the tree. But everything else you'll color in. So then I'm gonna get a blue, and skies don't always have to be blue, but I think for this one it kind of looks nice. And it's okay if it's really dry, because that would make it even a lighter blue. So I'm just kind of outlining using the edge and then coloring it in. So I'm gonna do that with everything today. And then if I finish, let me know, and we may or may not be ready for the water today. So I just want you to focus on this part, and if you don't get to the water, we're not gonna worry about this, because this is gonna take us some time to work on, okay? So the only thing I'm leaving white are the leaves and then the trunk of the tree. I make sure to color at least the main part of the body with my primary colors, and making sure to overlap my primary colors. The tail and the rest of the head, I could color it however I want, and I just happen to choose a blue sky. You could have a pink sky, like a sunset, or an orange, or a violet, or a black even would be fine. So it's up to you how you color it in. And then, like I said, once you finish with the coloring, raise your hand, and we'll start the other part.